Okay, welcome back. You heard from S. Krishna Kumar at Sundaram on the fundamentals. Let's get you a quick technical perspective with Rohit Srivastava, founder and strategist at IndiaCharts.com. Rohit, thanks very much for your time. Nifty was down a little over 1% this week. Bank Nifty was, of course, down almost 8%. First, your thoughts on both these indices for the coming week. How are they set up?
So I think they're very interestingly set up because like you said earlier, you've had a 3-week correction and you've really seen something very, very interesting today, which I'll highlight, which is that Nifty broke below the 3-day-old low. Nifty did not break the 3-day-old low that we made at 8806. And Bank Nifty did break it, which we made at 17,390. Now, when you get this kind of a divergence where one index is not confirming what the other index is doing, we call it an intermarket divergence. And in that sense, it's a good sign that maybe we've probably done the worst today and you could actually start seeing a recovery from here. So I would start next week on an optimistic note once we've passed this 3-day holiday. 8806 would be the bigger level. I think we'll continue to watch, hope that the Nifty doesn't break. On a weekly basis, we wouldn't like it to close below 8900, which was the swing low that it made a couple of weeks ago. And on Bank Nifty, you'll closely watch, which is the 78% retracement mark at 17,370. So we'd stopped there 3 days ago. We did fall below it today, but very, very marginally. So I wouldn't call that a break. And I think these two become the most critical levels to watch. And if they hold, then we should continue to look for potential for this downward trend to actually reverse to the upside rather than continue.
We closed below the 78% of the Bank Nifty, where the closing today is 17,352, marginally below that number that you spoke about. When you say when you say you'll be set up a little positively, Rohit, you're saying you look for long trades in sort of stocks ex financials or in financials also?
So my sense is usually if one market moves, then the other also moves. So you can say that financials will be weaker or will underperform, but if the Nifty is going up, it's not going to be that the Bank Nifty doesn't go up. Okay, and in terms of beta factor, in percentage terms, it will tend to move more because it's also down a lot more. So my sense is both move. Okay, you'll probably feel safer because the Nifty is not retraced that much. It's only done more than 38%, but less than 50%, whereas Bank Nifty is almost done 80%. So that difference is there, but so there'll be a percentage variation, but I think both go up. And another factor which really got oversold is the market-wide put-call ratio. So that's another one that I was watching closely, and it really gone back to where we were at the lows in March. Not exactly there, but very close. So a reading of almost 0.8 on the market-wide and maybe 0.9 to 0.95 on the Nifty PCR puts us in the range of closer to bottoms rather than tops. And so I think that's why you need to stop being too negative at this point of time.
Okay, throw in the global view as well. How are the big US indices set up? How's the dollar?
So the US indices, between the S&P and the NASDAQ, we have again a variation. The NASDAQ has gone past its even 61 and 78% retracement marks back to the gap that it made when the crash started back on the back of the COVID-19 sell-off. So it's trying to fill that gap. The NASDAQ 100 has already filled that gap. The composite has not. But the S&P 500 is now at the 66% mark, retracement mark, which is just close to the 3,000 mark. So it's going to be really important to see whether S&P gives up and drags the NASDAQ down with it, or whether it gets past this 66% retracement and then, the whole game changes. So then you'll actually start looking for a new high possibility in both the US indices. So they're very, very critically poised as to whether they roll over or they continue higher. I would probably not jump the gun on, expecting it either way. But my sense is that probably they can stretch a bit more looking at the way the NASDAQ has performed. But I think it's an important level where at least US markets say need to be a little cautious and see what it does over the next few days in terms of getting past the 3,000 mark.
Okay, so need to be a little cautious there. Rohit, you want to quickly tell us what your view is? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so on the dollar, and that's, I think, the main factor that we need to watch because the dollar determines what all the liquidity flows are going to take place. So typically when you have a rising dollar environment, it causes assets prices to actually go down. You get pressures in the bond market and so on and so forth. And we saw that into March as the dollar was really trying to spike. But if you actually look at the previous quarter between September and Jan, you had a weak dollar environment. And the dollar has been trying to break out of that. But once again, with all these stimulus, we haven't been able to do that. So what we are really looking at in the long term is the dollar index made the top of 103.8 in 2017, and we have almost come close to that level near 100. So it's like a near double top in the dollar index. And I think given all the stimulus that the central banks are putting in, you're probably going to roll over. We're seeing that in the short term. We are still not seeing it on weekly and monthly charts, but the daily charts are showing that the DXY is now not able to get past the 100 mark and might start heading lower. And once you get a further confirmation of that, I think is where pressure on most asset prices will go away.
Okay, all right, we got that. Thanks a lot for joining us. We've run out of time, but appreciate your time with us here on the channel.